Story time with Jeremy over at Mercedes-Benz Fort Mitchell. So, before I was a car salesman, I worked 3 jobs and had to scrap money together to get a pre-owned car. And I chose like a Chrysler Sebring that I bought off Craigslist. And I was young, very inexperienced, didn't really know what to look for when purchasing a car. So let me give you some tips. I would start on the outside of the car now and just get on the ground and try to look underneath the car. What I'm looking for is just any oil residue buildup or anything like that. See, the car that I got looked really great, but it had an oil leak and I purchased it just off looks alone. This was back when I was like 19, 20 years old. So pop the hood, pull the dipstick out, check the oil on it. Make sure it's reading in the levels it's supposed to read. Also, just check the engine bay, look around, see if there's any engine oil that's been splattered around, like when you look down here at pieces. Fortunately, this car has been very well taken care of. It's been vetted by our master technicians, but just trying to give you an idea where to look when we're looking through this vehicle. Just checking for rust and things like that as well. The sun is very bright, but next you can check the gaps. Make sure the gapping on the vehicle is very consistent as well. This just lets you know that panels hadn't been replaced. If you see some parts of the gaps are thicker than others and tight, or it's not consistent, then that lets you know maybe that panel had been taken off, removed. Not always saying that the car has been in an accident or anything like that. Sometimes things can become misaligned, but it's just a good indicator if you see that all throughout the car. Finally fire it up. See if you can drive it. Drive it for at least 15-20 minutes. Just make sure the temperatures on the car kind of stay where they're supposed to be reading. Sometimes in the middle in American vehicles. In German cars, they run closer to the hot, but just make sure it never gets to the hot. But yeah, just take it out, see how the steering sounds when you turn the steering wheel. If you hear any knocking and clanging, see how the brakes sound. But yeah, take it out at least 15-20 minutes. Hopefully this helps you on your car.